Good morning, good morning. This is Gwendolyn Yarbrough. I'm your inspiration cultivator, and I'm on here to chat one more Wednesday with you about self-destruction series. And we're talking about, this is part 2, we're talking about the hidden darknesses of self-destruction. I know last week we talked about SAD. We talked about sexual addictions, alcohol addictions, drug addictions, and all of them make you sad. And so this week, hello, good morning, we're going to jump right on in and tackle this series on part 2, the hidden darknesses. Hello, good morning, Sam, of self-destruction. Y'all, I know it's a big pill to swallow, but we big, we grown, we can do this. And so y'all know I give real experiences. I know you understand. Absolutely. We sure can connect. We can, I understand that these are some issues and topics that are somewhat overlooked or taboo or not realized. And so on this series, because I would just believe in just speaking from the heart as I am led to connect with those who are needing some encouragement, more so inspiration, more so empowerment and edification in this area. I'm not on here to bash, throw rocks. I tell my own testimony and I share my own experiences, and that's why I am qualified and equipped to talk about such things, because number one, I'm a transparent type of chick and I just don't have anything to hide or to be ashamed of. You know, a lot of people want to be ashamed in this season, and I'm not at all. I'm so grateful for every experience, every transition, every transformation. Most importantly, I'm just so grateful. So let's just hop right on in, and I'm going to share a few of hidden darknesses. Of course, we can't discuss everything because I don't want to keep your time, but I will go over some of those hidden darknesses that we just need to tackle and overcome. And so the first hidden darkness of self-destruction is pride. Oh my God, I know I said it. I said the P word. Oh my God, I said it. Yes, pride. And the Bible tells us that pride will cause us to self-destruct. Pride will lead us to a pit of pitifulness. Pride will leave us in a place of not knowing when to ask for help, not knowing how to ask for help, not knowing how to receive help. Pride will put us in a place that we'll think that we're high and mighty in a situation or in an area in our life that that's not me, or I don't need him or her, or I don't want to take that, or it'll just have your head clouded in a milk jug. My friend used to be his favorite saying, child, they head clouded in a milk jug. And that's what pride will do. Pride will have you so cloudy and making you feel like you even better than some people. Pride will make you feel like you got it going on, like a bag of chips and a plate of neck bones. Pride will make you feel like overconfident. And so the hidden darkness of self-destruction when it comes to pride is knowing when, how, and what to receive, when, how, what to let go, when, how to recognize and realize that it's okay if you don't have it together. It's okay if the dots aren't connecting. It's okay if every I isn't dotted and every T isn't crossed. It's okay to just accept a responsibility and knowing that I don't have to be so prideful that I shun the very people that are there to assist me, there to help me, there to push me to the next level, because in my mind, I don't need no help. I don't need nobody. I'm good. And so let's do away with pride, because it's leading you into a dark hole of just emptiness, a dark hole of just being stuck with no assistance. So let's just move away the hidden darknesses of being too prideful to receive anything from anyone, good, bad, or indifferent. bad people can give some good advice sometimes. Come on, somebody. Yes, good morning, everyone. So let's learn to conquer pride. Let's say, Lord, if there's anything in my heart that's too prideful and it's not of you. Now, that's one thing to be proud, but not prideful. If it's anything that's in there that's a pride, that's keeping me and hindering me from progressing in the things and purpose that you have called, Lord, remove it from me. So let's deal with the hidden darkness of pride on today, because it is one of the biggest self-destruction tools and enemies and spirits out there. Pride. So that's one. Malice. Oh, that envy, hateful demon. Y'all, let me share some things with you, because I ain't always been the friendliest person. I ain't. And I found myself, even as a kid, I guess it was a single child, only child syndrome, but I don't know. But I always had an issue, and I had malice in my heart towards people who had siblings, and the relationship was, oh, y'all don't want to be real on this morning, or y'all don't want to talk about that, and how you feel like you're the only one when you're in your circle and everybody else can relate. Even in my family, coming from a blended family, I had malice building up in my heart towards my blended siblings, because in my mind, I don't have a full blood sibling that I could relate to. I had to deal with that issue. I had to deal with that issue that when God specifically designed and orchestrated that you come from a blended family, because you by yourself is just a force to be reckoned with. Or I had to look at the brighter side. What if I had to appreciate what God had placed in my life, not looking at my friends that got 4 and 5 sisters or brothers, or even one, a paired sibling. Or I just had to look, I'm in the middle of a blended family and I'm being loved. I had to realize that it's not my problem, number one, that it's not a problem, period, that I just come from my mom and dad decide to have just one child together. And for so long, I fought and wrestled with that, and hate and malice and envy was in my heart just towards my blended family. Isn't that crazy? Yes, it is crazy. It was very crazy. And I had to deal with that unforgiveness. And I had to talk about, you know what? I felt some type of way growing up around my home chicks, because, it's 4 y'all. It's you and her, or you, her, and him, and I go home and it's just me. I wanted to connect. I wanted to feel loved by a sibling, to have that experience of being able to bond. That's the type of person I am. I wanted to be relatable to my loved ones. You see how they just love on one another. They got each other back, and here I am fighting my own battles. Didn't have nobody to protect me. Didn't have nobody to defend me when it came time to get down. I had to deal with the hidden darkness of self-destruction, which was malice, envy, strife in my heart for little reasons that just could have just been so massive and so big, to the point that, I would have been in this world by myself, hating everybody for no reason, for the simple fact that I don't have a full-blood sibling, really. No, we are full-blooded. We are connected. And I'm so grateful that God has sent me some sisters and brothers in my life to help me on this journey, to help me realize that, Gwen, there's some things hidden. That's why I said hidden, not open. We talked about the open stuff on last Wednesday. This stuff, we talking about the hidden things. That's the things that people can't see, the things that can't be penetrated by those unless they in tune with God, or God reveals it, or however. We're talking about that stuff that you deal with on one-on-one that nobody else knows. That's what we're talking about on today. That hidden thing that's of self-destruction, the hidden thing of self-destruction or hidden darknesses. That's what we're talking about. Oh, let's go to the next one. We done talked about pride. We done talked about malice, envy, jealous, strife. Oh yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going to the bitterness, when you don't forgive that person that wronged you, when you don't forgive that individual that lied on you, that individual that backbited and sabotaged your name, tried to scandalize it. Let's talk about the bitterness, hidden darkness. Oh yeah, I had to deal with that too. A lot of people is walking around here bitter because they won't forgive. They walking around here bitter because they was raped, they was molested, they was victimized in some form or fashion. The church hurt them. People on their job hurt them. Oh, they got fatherless issues, motherless issues. They have inward self-confidence and self-esteem issues that have made them bitter to the point they can't even forgive. That's a hidden darkness of self-destruction, because the bitter you are, the more rotten you become. Ooh, that's good. I ain't gonna get no hearts. I ain't gonna get no likes. Everybody just about dropped out because, when you talking about the hidden darknesses of self-destruction, don't nobody want to hear that. But it's okay. It's gonna get to the right person. I thank those who are still on and watching. So the hidden darkness of bitterness will cause you to rotten from the inside out. That's a big disease manifesting internally that can show up through high blood pressure, low blood pressure, shortness of breath. Oh, y'all don't think all these hidden darknesses doesn't turn into diseases? Well, I'm here to tell you that they do. Whatever's going on the inside will manifest on the outside. Oh, you got breakouts on your face, chemical imbalance in your body. That all those things are tied in and factored. And so if you don't deal with the hidden darkness of bitterness, you will be rotten. You will be no good for anybody. You won't even be good for yourself. When you don't deal with the hidden darkness of self-destruction demon, of unforgiveness, bitterness, you will find yourself by yourself dealing with same issues from 30, 40, 50, 10 years ago, even 2 days ago. Y'all don't go to bed, don't lay down on that stuff. You say whatever I have in my heart against anybody. If you can't go to them, ask God to give you the encouragement and confidence and boost. Hello, Dr. Pedra. And ask God to give you what you need in this season to overcome every hidden darkness of self-destruction. I talked about pride. I talked about malice, envy, strife, jealousy. I talked about bitterness, because I have dealt with all three of those on some level at some point in my life. I was very bitter. I was very bitter. Can I just tell the truth about it? I was bitter that my father would make me promises and never show up, never come through. I was bitter, and I carried that stuff into my adulthood. I was bitter that the fact that his other two children, he looked after, he wrote them checks, he dropped off, popped in on them, and couldn't even come 2 miles up the street to see about me. I was bitter. I was bitter the fact of, what else was I bitter about? People didn't want to hear me. I had a rejection issue that I became bitter because I'm trying to please everybody. I'm trying to be the friendly one. I'm trying to be the solution solver. But I had to realize I can't fix everybody's problem, Gwen. You are not the fixer. You are not the problem solver for everybody. And that was making me bitter, because I was like, I'm telling the truth. I'm being real. I'm being loyal. I'm being all these things authentic, and people don't know how to handle when it comes to receiving corrective criticism, when it comes to receiving. And so that stuff was trying to make me bitter. Those things were making me bitter. When job after job, or trying to get a promotion on the job, and knowing I'm working my butt off, showing up on time, working over. That stuff makes you bitter. Yes, it would. That's a tactic of the enemy. I can go on and on and on about being bitter. I was so bitter to the point that I really didn't even want to deal with my kids. Oh, y'all don't want to talk about that. Yes, I was so bitter at my ex-husband that I really didn't want to fool with my kids. Yes, it's true. It is very true. It is very true. One of them looked just like him. Baby, that's the one I was trying to keep out of my face the most. Oh, y'all don't want to tell the truth about being bitter. I had to deal with that. Would I ever hurt, harm, or put my kids in danger? Absolutely not. But y'all know how you go. You feed your kids, do whatever you got to. And this is just me. I did what I had to. In my room, shut my door. I didn't see them till the next morning. I didn't want to deal with them, because I was still dealing with the issue that their father was trifling. I was still dealing with the issue that didn't work out, or whatever the problem I had with their father that I don't have anymore. Thank you, God. I had to release that stuff. And it first of all, I had to realize it, and I had to recognize all these things that were trying to come up against me and self-destruct me as an individual, that was trying to go against the purpose that God has spoke concerning my life. I had to deal with those things first. I had to let go. I had to forgive. I had to take responsibility. And nobody wants to take responsibility in this day and age. Nobody wants to be held accountable. Nobody wants to be upfront and real about themselves when it comes to the little foxes that are so big. The inward things that have us. We don't want to talk about that. But those are the things that's going to self-destruct us. And when you self-destruct, you are dead. You die. You are done. Do you understand what self-destruction does? You are dead. You are done. Come on. You die. You dead. You done. You are over with. You are of no good to anybody or yourself. And so if we don't deal with these hidden darknesses, the inward things, the hurt, the pain, the abuse, the trauma, the mental anguish, if those are hidden darknesses, if you don't deal with them now, you go into an early grave, or you're going to experience a spiritual death. And you're going to be walking around here like a zombie, going in cycles. I can talk about that. I was headed that way. I was so fed up and outdone with not the church, but the people that the enemy had orchestrated. Come on, we have to tell the truth. It ain't the church problem. It's the imps and the witches and the warlocks and the principalities that's inside the church that are not being cast out, that come against the ones that really have a pure heart to serve and worship God. So let's stop calling it church hurt. Now it's people hurt who are in the church. That's who hurting you. Them demons that set up in camp and ain't no power and anointing flowing through the building to cast that stuff out. Those are the people that's coming up against you. I ain't gonna get no hearts and likes on that, but it's true. And they can wear you out, because every Sunday they are there before the doors open. They there every time the doors open on the Bible study. They there front and center, keeping up the most mess, the most junk. And I was worn out, and I was tired of some of the people in the church. And if it wasn't for those who God sent in my life, I can call their names, because I am so grateful unto God that if it wasn't for them, Dr. Pedra is one. Cynthia Diggs, Evangelist Cynthia Diggs. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Good, bad, and different. The platers. Yes, yes, that's true. I'm gonna give, whether the relationship is copacetic or not, I'm gonna give people their props while they live, because they helped me in that place of transition. And I have to give honor what honor is due. I don't have a thing in my heart against nobody. People think just because you disconnect on social media that's a hidden darkness that the enemy wants to use to bring division and discord. Let's talk about that. The hidden darkness of division and discord. And the enemy will try to use the simplest things to block us, blind us, to hinder us from moving and progressing. And I just came to a point, I'm just going to disconnect from anything that's trying to do all those things, bring distraction and discord. I'm sitting up there, I'm letting it go, I'm disconnecting. Because I'm not at the point where I can overlook some stuff. Y'all don't want to talk about the truth. I'm not at the point where I can bypass. No, this mouth and my attitude, I'm still in prayer about it. I ain't as quick and sharp as I used to be when it comes to stuff, but I ain't to the point that I can say I don't see it, but I see it. No, I'm not there. I'm not there. And you know what? To save my soul, let me go ahead and shun the very appearance of evil. That's what we have to do when we're dealing with the hidden darknesses of self-destruction. We have to take accountability. And if you feel that I'm not, thank you so much for sharing this. If you feel that I'm not who I am because I disconnect, because I'm trying to save my own soul, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. But if you need me, you know my phone number. If you desire help, you got my phone number. See, that's how you got to deal with people. When you disconnect from them on social media, I ain't blocked your number out my phone. If you need me, you got my phone number. We ain't got to be connected on here because the enemy trying to use this platform to bring division. And people don't want to realize and recognize that this is nothing. To come on, post your little post on Facebook, to do your little ins and out subliminal messages. Look, if I don't see it, I'm good. If I see it, I got a problem because I'm trying to show up somewhere. And I ain't trying to do that in this season. I ain't trying to show up. And I'm not talking about to show up to fight. I'm talking about show up, baby. Let's resolve this. What's your problem? You understand what I'm saying? So thank you. Yes, I'm guarding my heart. I'm protecting my eye and ear gates from the things that the enemy's trying to use to hinder, block, destroy me. This is self-destruction if I'm just constantly looking on folks. What she say? Oh, what's they posting about now? Oh, what? That's a hidden darkness. That's a hidden darkness. Let's deal with this stuff so we can overcome and be triumphant. That's why we're having this discussion. So what have we talked about so far? We talked about pride. We talked about malice, hate, envy, strife. We talked about bitterness, unforgiveness. We talked about the spirit of discord and distraction. If we don't deal with that stuff internally, we will die and be done, both spiritual and eventually naturally. That's the truth about self-destruction. It's an enemy. It's an attack from the enemy, for he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. They sure can't use the time to get in the word. Sure could. But they rather do all this other stuff. I would not entertain the enemy on no social media platform. I have called and addressed too many people, and I'm not afraid to ask. The word tells us if your brother, offends you, go to him and correct it. And if y'all can't resolve it, call on the elders of the church. But nobody want to do stuff in order. That's a problem. A disorderly behavior is self-destruction. When you can't operate in order, you have a self-destruction spirit. You have a disorderly spirit. That's a hidden darkness. You don't want to do stuff in order. You want to call people out on these platforms. You want to expose these people on these platforms. Be grown. If you don't like their lifestyle, baby, I'm praying for you. Because I heard X, Y, and Z. Well, I got to come on here and blast you for what is that doing for me? What is me blasting doing that? What is it doing for me? When we are to edify one another, encourage ye that are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of meekness. Come on. Let's stop all this trying to expose pastors, evangelists, people, our baby daddies, baby mamas, our family members. Let's stop doing this. Spirit of confusion, exactly. That's a hidden darkness. If you operate in the spirit of confusion, deal with that stuff privately, in prayer. The hidden darknesses you deal with, that's a self-improvement that you have to do. And this stuff only gets destroyed by first acknowledging you have a problem. You have an internal problem, and recognize this stuff. Deal with it in prayer. Father, remove malice, strife, envy from my heart. Remove bitterness from me. Remove the prideful spirit. Remove the unforgiveness. Remove the hate. Remove the discord spirit. Remove it. And redirect me to a place in you, God, that I'm carrying the fruits of the Spirit, that my tree is being known by the fruits it bear. Come on, that's how we destroy the enemy of self-destruction, of the hidden darknesses that are trying to operate in and through us. You deal with it in prayer. Turn aside your plate if you have to. I don't care if you say, I'm going to skip breakfast every morning. I'm going to fast through breakfast. If breakfast is your favorite meal, fast through breakfast. Fast through lunch. If you're not a breakfast, fast through lunch. If dinner is your issue, fast all day. But you got to understand that the only way that you're going to conquer, because the word tells us we are more than conquerors. The only way you're going to conquer the self-destruction demon of the hidden darknesses is you got to do it through prayer. You got to do it through fasting and consecrating yourself. And you got to do it with an open and honest mindset to say, I have a problem in this area. God, free me from it. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. So that means if he's here inside of me, living, breathing, moving in him, do I do those things in me? Come on. That means that stuff can't even live or lay dormant. So let's start working on these things. God has equipped us with so many tools and resources and weapons that we can defeat every demon, every foe, every plot, plan, and ploy of the enemy. Let's activate it on today so we can denounce the rulers of darkness that's trying to operate through us and in us. The short-temperedness, that's a self-destruction. Every time you talk, and I can talk, everything I'm talking about, I can talk about. Shortness, snappy, just instantaneous. Just if somebody say something, the wrong thing, how they say it, when they say it, wrong time of saying, no matter who said it, it's just what? Taking everything so personal. Deal with that stuff. And maybe something happened that triggered a childhood issue. Maybe that's why you have short temper. I can talk. Yeah, I had a lot. Hello, Grant. Where you been, Grant? Yes. So we're just talking. This is part 2 of the self-destruction series, and I just wanted to go over a few things. I could talk about a whole lot, like gluttony. Oh, that's a self-destruction. When you just can't stop eating, that's because you feeding that pain. You feeding that trauma of whatever the root of it is. So people find themselves, they eating. Eat. Every time you turn around, they got putting something in their mouth. Just feeding it. That demon said, feed me. Feed my rejection. Feed my unacceptance. Feed my hurt. Feed my pain. Feed my abuse. That's what you're doing. So you're not hungry. That demon is just saying, feed me, because the demon in you is hungry. Come on. So you're going to eat. You're going to drink. Every time you turn around, you're going to wake up with food on your mind. You're going to go to bed with food on your mind. You're going to walk around, food on your mind. Because that enemy is saying, this brings me so much comfort. I feel so good. Or it's going to starve you. It works both ways. When you feel like you're not good enough, I just feel, my God, my heart just hurts for real. For the people that's really destructing themselves. When you starving yourself because you don't feel like you're good enough. When you feel like you just unworthy of being loved, or you don't have the confidence that you need. So let me starve myself because I'm too big. This is real stuff that people are dealing with that is destroying them from living their best life. And know what's happening to these people. Let me keep shooting up to numb the pain of my reality. Let me keep drinking it up to numb my pain of my reality. Let me keep fornicating and having sex with every Tom, Dick, and Harry and every Sally, Sue, and Jane. Because this brings me comfort. That is self-destruction. But there is a healing that can flow when you recognize these things and take ownership that I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to be in this place anymore. You have to come to the realization that you don't want to do it anymore. Don't accept that in your life. Disconnect. And cry and say, Lord, help me. Because he's the only one who can. Me talking to y'all, I can't help you. But this is what I had to do. Of the things that was trying to destroy me. The things that was trying to keep me from progressing in God. The things that was trying to keep me and hinder me from moving and operating in purpose. Those things were keeping me. A lot of the things that I discussed were keeping me from being able to just come out and be bold and brilliant in God. It was hindering me from living my best life. It was destroying me. And I had to come to the point to say, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to be angry all the time. I don't want to snap out on people. I don't want to tell people off because they brush me wrong, because they don't get me, because they don't understand they can't relate to what I'm saying. They have a communication barrier, so I made their problem my problem. I made they hate towards me my problem to hate myself. So I responded in a way that was destroying me. It wasn't destroying them. Me cussing them out wasn't destroying them. It was destroying me. Y'all, I had a mouth on me. I would cuss you out like a sailor and wouldn't think two dimes about it. I would come up with words because I was really trying to prove a point. For what? What? Then I had to go back to all them people. I didn't use this tongue to cut, to destroy, to kill. Yeah, this mouth, I used it to cut, to destroy, to kill people. Because I knew how lethal my tongue was. It was lethal. And I had to go back and restore all those relationships by saying, forgive me. I know what I did wasn't right. Forgive me. I know what I said was just very, very, hurtful. I had a tormenting spirit. Oh, y'all don't want to talk on today. I had a tormenting spirit. I intentionally tormented others because I was tormented. I wasn't happy with Gwen. I wasn't satisfied with my life. Yes, I did. I had a control spirit. I had all of that. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And it was self-destructing me. Until one day, I surrendered everything to the Father. I said, I don't want it anymore. I don't want to do people like they've been doing me. Because I don't like how it feels. And I'm crying tears of joy. Because God He will show you your growth. He will show you your progress. And I'm so grateful that I'm not that person I used to be. I'm so grateful that I don't have that heart I used to have. The heart of stone. The heart of being just ill. Just ill. Just ill. Just ill for no reason. Because I was raped. And my case went to court twice without me. I was evil. How could that be? My father passes at the age of 49 years old. And a year before he passed, I'm just now having a relationship with him. I was evil. And I don't care who I hurt. I don't care if it was family or friends. Because I was hurt. Because I was traumatized. Because I didn't understand. But God healed me. God fixed that thing for me. Everything I'm talking about, God removed all of that. And he replaced so much joy in my life. He connected me with people that I thought I'd never be connected to. I became lovable. I became a person that had a heart of compassion. And that's why I'm on here, because I am a freedom warrior for Christ. And if he can do this for me, just imagine what he can do for you. And so this is the conclusion of the self-destruction. Not the conclusion. We got a part 3. So come on next Wednesday. Lord Jesus, I didn't mean to get emotional on y'all. So come on next Wednesday and let's see what the Lord has to say about self-destruction series. We have discussed the part 1 was sad. If you missed it last week, go check out my timeline. It should come up. Sex, alcohol, and drugs, or how you can overcome every addiction that makes you sad. We talked about on that last Wednesday. On part 2, we talked about the hidden darknesses of self-destruction. And y'all, God said in his word, I come that you may have life, and that more abundantly. And I'm going to leave that with you. So you don't have to live with a self-destruction mentality. But if you decide in your heart to receive the Savior, your Redeemer, if you decide in your heart to change for the good and give it all over to God, you will begin to live that abundant life. Y'all have a blessed day. And until next time, grow you by Gwen, not me. Grow you by God's will. Explore now. Be blessed. Share this video with somebody. Y'all, I'll be pouring my heart out on here for people, and I just have a heart for people now. And so let's just try to be helpers on one another. Let's build the community and kingdom of God. Y'all have a great day. God bless.